the pro-Israel shilling, because even like in the wider freedom movement or in the wider wherever we are, people have woken up to the role of them.
Listen to this from it. Listen to it from
running
it.
America, Israel.
And I know this is might be a little bit Mossad. The Gad Saad, who I've now called Gad Mossad, Gad Saad, who is how can I say it? He's a YouTube sort of influencer guy, you know, sort of similar. He was what I say. He was Jordan Peterson. Okay, so he was a bit like Jordan Peterson, you know, although a bit of a cross between Jordan Peterson and Stefan Molyneux, if you know what I mean, right? That kind of philosopher kind of guy. He got quite a fairly large following on YouTube.
So that actually is something that I discuss in the chapter on play, the importance of, you know, living your life with a playful mindset. Now you might say, how does the Mossad fit with play? Well, so when I was about 18 years old, I had a cousin who had come from Israel, who said, hey, you know, I have a friend of mine who would like to meet you, to chat with you. I'm thinking, for what purpose? So, oh, you know, he'll talk to you. So I meet this gentleman. He says, oh, there are some guys who would like to meet you and see if you're interested in working with them.
Just, like, really think about this, guys, for a second. Like, the reason why he said the statute of limitations and all of that, because he is essentially, for the past however many decades he's been in America, he has done what Yuri Bezmenov famously said what espionage agencies do. They turn up at whatever country that they're aiming to indoctrinize. That this is more or less of what actually they got him to do. They sent him to an American university. He infiltrated. He worked his way up, and he essentially conditioned and indoctrinated the young, soft minds of American academic students, and they all grew up to be, who knows, you know what I mean, like politicians and just people that were just totally subverted, basically.
The Israeli consul in Montreal.
So, you know, like what all of these kind of alternative ink people do, because Gad Saad, I mean, you know what this is? I searched this earlier, right, just to talk about this, yeah. So he goes on Joe Rogan. So Gad Saad, confirmed Mossad agent, right? A guy who had a big, like with Katie Hopkins, had a big social media following, and he waited essentially for the statute of limitations to expire for that particular crime that he was doing, i.e., espionage, and then he revealed it because he can. England's a bit, UK's a bit different. There is no statute of limitations.
And then she ended up saying, you know, this has to end. She was going to blow it in the open. These guys don't really like to have a lot of attention. And so that was the end of my Israeli spy game career.
So that's Gad Saad basically laying it all out. That was Epoch Times.